Thank you. And today's discussion focuses on one of the defining themes of our time, how digital partnership can help shape a secure, innovative, and inclusive global future. Over the next few hours, we will hear from leaders and experts who are driving this transformation, exploring how cooperation between Europe and the Indo-Pacific can strengthen innovation, resilience, and trust in our digital age. Before we move on, I would like to invite my wonderful co-host, Ms. Ye Xia, to set a few rules of the house, and for your house of the noble and dictionaries, okay? And Ms. Ye.
Thank you, Professor Ge. Before we begin, just a few housekeeping notes to make sure our offline experience runs as smoothly as the digital ones we are discussing today. In case of an emergency, please follow the exit signs on both sides of the auditorium. Our staff will guide you to the safe assembly point outside. Secondly, kindly set your phones to silent mode. Restrooms are located just outside to your left. And don't forget, after all the sessions, we will have a reception at 5:30 outside this auditorium. Now, to formally open our conference, I'll invite Professor Ge to introduce our distinguished guest for the welcome remarks.
Thank you, Ye. And it's my great honor, pleasure, to begin with the welcome remarks. And please join me to welcome Mr. George Low, Associate Vice President for Strategic Partnership. And at the National University of Singapore, Mr. George Low holds the Strategic Partnership Office at the National University of Singapore, where he shapes governance structure to support strategic programs and cultivate collaboration with university stakeholders. Mr. Low joined NUS in 2020 as Senior Director, Strategic Collaboration and Partnership, bringing with him over 3 decades of distinguished public service experience in Singapore's research and technology ecosystems. Prior to joining NUS, he held key leadership roles across Defense Science Technology Agency and the Ministry of Defense and the National Research Foundations, and where he was instrumental in advancing Singapore's science and technology capabilities. Today, he plays a central role in driving strategic partnership that connect research excellency in digital partnership between InPace and Singapore, right at the place where he served, NUS. George, please.
Thank you, Professor Ge. Your Excellency, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and our partners here today. On behalf of NUS, I'd like to welcome you to NUS, some of you for the first time, but some of you may have been here for many times, and I welcome you back. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity also to thank InPace for organizing this today, the EU-Indo-Pacific Digital Partnership Conference with NUS. Digital technology such as AI, data science, infotech, Internet of Things, algorithms, system architectures are areas of strength of NUS. And we are very glad that we could co-organize this partnership conference event, that we can get all the experts and distinguished guests to come together. Digital tech is vital to Singapore. Its competitiveness and resilience as a small open economy with limited natural resources and tight labor. But most importantly, I think digital tech has powered Singapore as the smart nation, transforming a lot of public services. I've never been to a bank or went to any office to pay my income tax, maybe for the past 20 years. And digital tech plays a central role in Singapore for government to be able to roll out all these e-services. Coupled with AI technologies, now digital tech open new frontiers for Singapore. We're limited by physical size, but with digital tech, we could do much more than our small size in Singapore. So we expect that we could really leverage AI to go into areas like fintech, advanced manufacturing, biomedical sciences, And of course, we want to reinforce Singapore's position as a trusted hub in this part of the world. A couple of weeks back, we just hosted the Cyber Week, Singapore International Cyber Week. So many countries and our partners come together to discuss about cybersecurity, to establish governance, and to enhance our trust, the trusted partnership. So we want to continue to be a trusted hub. Now, Singapore signed the EU-Singapore Digital Trade Agreement in May this year. And there's a plan for Singapore to sign the ASEAN Digital Economy Agreement in 2026. And all such agreements demonstrated Singapore's commitment to strategic partnership and collaboration in digital tech and commerce. Our strategic intent is clear. We want to forge digital partnerships that enable trusted cross-border data flow, interoperable standards, and joint research and innovation. All this partnership provides a platform for high-level norms, discussion on data protection, common technical standards, and for mechanism for privacy and digital identity, which will reduce a lot of friction, whether in research or in trade, between all the companies. Now, this partnership not only reduces friction, but it also provides opportunities for us to collaborate and innovate new technologies. So I'm very glad that we could come together with our partners to explore a partnership with EU, between Singapore and our Indo-Pacific neighbors. So it will shape a digital future that we all will share, and will also define how we can harness innovation and collaboration to build trust, inclusivity, and resilience across borders. I have the privilege to lead the Strategic Partnership Office in NUS to build and to develop and strengthen strategic partnership. And I'm very glad to see many of you today in these conferences. We want to continue to build trusted relationship, partnership with our friends, our neighbors, and our partners, so that we can forge together, whether with our neighbors in ASEAN, in Asia, in US, of course, including Europe. Now, we work closely with our stakeholders across government, academia, and industry to develop collaborative programs. I hope that this conference will give us some spark, some ideas. What are some of the collaboration programs that we can work together among the partners? This EU-Indo-Pacific Digital Partnership Conference is an excellent opportunity, an example of bringing policies makers, innovators, researchers, and entrepreneurs to explore how Europe could engage Indo-Pacific and engage the partners in this part of the world. So I want to encourage you to take this opportunity not only to exchange ideas, but really to build long-term partnership together so that we can promote innovation, strengthen the trust, and create a digital future that serves people, the communities, and maybe the planet. I wish you all a very productive and meaningful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, George, for the affirmation, confirmation, and support of a partnership and digital partnership. And yeah. And next one, we are honored to hear from Ms. Svetlana Kolosov, Director of Research and Innovation Partnership at GAC Group and the coordinator of the PACE project. And with over 20 years of experience, she had led more than 60 international projects across Europe, Asia, and America, including 10 European-funded projects. She currently coordinates REACH in the USA, supporting the internationalization of European firms, and manages of the Lotus project, developing EU-Indian innovation in water management. Svetlana also serves on the advisory board of the Wiley IEEE book series for technology management, innovation, and leadership, and co-edited the ICT policy, research, and innovation published by the Wiley IEEE in 2020, focusing on global collaboration in digital technologies, and such as IoT, 5G, and big data. While NES celebrates its 120 years anniversary, I would like to say happy birthday, Svetlana. And forever young and beautiful, energetic. And please extend our warm welcome to Ms. Vatsania. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, partners, and colleagues, on behalf of the InPace Consortium, I'm honored to open this European Indo-Pacific Conference 2025 edition, co-organized with National University of Singapore and Singapore Academy of Engineering. The InPace project, you already heard this, stands for Indo-Pacific European Hub for Digital Partnerships. And it represents more than just one additional international initiatives. Actually, standing here in Singapore, and it's not the first time for me, okay? So it's at the crossroads between Europe and Indo-Pacific, Europe and ASEAN. This is like a perfect metaphor for what we're doing in InPace. We are not just bridging geographical distances, but we're connecting minds, we're connecting markets, and we're connecting opportunities. Digital innovation doesn't respect borders, and neither should we. Over the past 1.5 years, we have worked systematically to create bridges between Europe and Indo-Pacific, facilitating research collaboration, creating innovation networks with companies, facilitating policy dialogues, okay, organizing roundtables, and also sparking some remarkable connections. These efforts build upon and reinforce the existing digital partnerships agreement between the European Union and Singapore, Japan, Republic of Korea, and Trade and Technology Council in India. These agreements are signed at the very high level by the governments, but InPace serves as an operational support framework, you know, to transform these high-level agreements and to bring this more into practice. Over the next, so today and tomorrow, these 2 days, you and also many people who are online will dive to critical areas. Yes, thank you. We'll dive to critical areas, 6 critical areas, where we believe Indo-Pacific European cooperation can really drive meaningful progress. Digital policies, AI technologies and applications, semiconductors, secure IoT systems, digital identities, and digital innovation hubs. And each of these areas represent not only technical domain, but an opportunity to shape how digital technology will serve our societies. And we want you to live with actual connections, with actual partnerships, with concrete project idea. And I understand that today is more opening day, tomorrow we'll dive into technical sessions, but even today, I mean, so we want to start you right now, okay, to build these connections. And beyond presentation, we have integrated policy dialogue roundtable for frank discussions, technical session for deep dives. Our Innovation Convergence Lab this morning was really great because this was like connection of practical opportunities, you know, like matching technological capabilities with market needs. And the strategic importance of this gathering cannot be understated, because digital technology underpins economic resilience, national security, and well-being of the society. And no single region can address this alone. No bilateral cooperation can address this alone. Europe brings excellent and robust governance framework, strong research capabilities, commitment to human-centric technologies. The Indo-Pacific contributes to manufacturer excellence, strong research capabilities, rapid innovation cycles, dynamic digital markets. So together, our complementarities, when aligned, can establish really new standards for trusted and sustainable digital development. And as you all know, partnership requires more than just good intentions. So it requires understanding, mutual understanding, joint meetings, physical meetings, as we're doing now. And sorry for those who are online, but yeah, we hope you will participate as well as intensely as you did already at the previous conferences. And that's why the event is designed exactly to reinforce these interactions, so creating spaces, including networking, including at coffee breaks and reception for dialogue, exchanges, and relationship buildings, and we hope this will go beyond this conference. So at last, I encourage you to engage actively in different sessions. Challenge assumptions, not just participate. Challenge speakers, ask your questions, share comments. Let's remember that we're not only discussing here, we are actually building these digital partnerships that are signed by our governments. And the conversation we have here, the connection you will make, and the project idea you will share and hopefully initiate will shape how our region collaborates in the next years. Our gratitude extends to the European Union and the Swiss State Secretariat for Education, Research, and Innovation for their funding and faith in InPace. And I want to acknowledge the instrumental guidance of Benoit Savroche, first consular of the European Union delegation to Singapore, for all guidance and connections, while we were online. And would like to thank Professor Samge, our InPacer, right? Yes. So for bringing all this connection together. And thank you very much to National University of Singapore and Shao Foundation Alumni Association to hosting us in this space. So welcome to the 2 days, so already 1.5 days of unexpected connection, maybe sometimes unstructured discussions, but hopefully the expansion of partnerships. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Savannah. And really, the partnership, you heard it, our leader is the partnership bonding, and we are together. Okay? I'm an engineer. We must do it good. And let's give Savannah a round of applause for his excellent leadership talk. Okay? Thank you. To further set the tone for today's program, I'm pleased to invite Professor Sebastian Engel from TU Dortmund, a leading figure in the process system engineering and control, to deliver his opening remarks. And Professor Engel has been a full professor of process dynamics and operation at TU Dortmund University since 1990, where he also served as vice rector for research. A fellow of the International Federation of Automatic Control, Professor Engel is renowned for bridging theory and industrial application in model-based and optimizing control. His work has driven several major European research initiatives, from the ERC Advanced Grant, MobileCon, to projects like Dymasource and CPSOS and Corporals, all focus on advancing energy and resource efficiency through intelligent coordination in process industries. Please join me in welcoming Professor Sebastian Engel. Yeah.
Can you hear me well? Yes. So, warm welcome from my side, distinguished guests. Very happy to see you here for this InPace event. I will talk a little bit about the InPace project for those of you who haven't seen that before, and give a quick overview of the program before we then will listen to His Excellency, the Designed Ambassador, afterwards. Short overview of the InPace project. So you see it has been mentioned before already, Indo-Pacific European Hub for Digital Partnerships. What is it? So first of all, for the non-Europeans to understand, it is a project. Okay, so limited time, limited budget. It is funded by the European Commission, by the Directorate General for Digital Technologies, and it was won in a tight competition, and we will go for another 2 years roughly from now. It is part of what is called Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is one of the biggest research and innovation funding programs in the world, if not the biggest. It goes in 7-year cycles, so we are now heading towards the end of this cycle, and we are already discussing what will be next, and it will be reshaped for sure. Horizon Europe consists of 3 pillars, and so far it has not been questions to keep these 3 pillars. One is excellent science. So these is individual grants for excellent researchers plus mobility. Also something very interesting for people from Singapore, from India, because you can apply for these mobility grants. Then we have a pillar which is called Global Challenges and Industrial Competitiveness. And the distinguishing feature of this is that these are all collaborative projects. Okay, so you cannot do it in a single nation in Europe. You have to have partners from several countries. And even you can also, normally you wouldn't do it with the majority of the money going just to one country. And it is what we call middle tier L. Okay, so it bridges from basic research to actual deployment, not competing with industry, but preparing the industrial commercial uptake of the innovations. And the third one is Innovative Europe, which goes more on the innovation side and, supports SMEs, etc. And many elements of this program are open for international partners. For some countries, it's easier. For the associated countries, for others, there are specific calls. But in general, there are opportunities which I would all invite you to grasp. Let me make one personal remark. Sam already alluded to that. I have hugely profited in my scientific career from European funding. An ERC grant, a large number, 10 plus, of collaborative projects with industry, with partners all over Europe. And these were great projects. We could mobilize the best minds in a certain area. You normally don't have so many choices, even in a big country like Germany. And we collaborated with industry on a number of projects, and it was very successful, both from the point of view of scientific output and from the point of view, so several PhDs granted from these projects, from the work in these projects, but also from the point of view of real implementation. So it's really a great program, and it contributes to the tying together Europe, and also it is open for other countries to support the collaboration. We are a big consortium in PACE. I will not read you all the logos here, but I would like to specifically mention our international partners, which are part of the consortium without getting funded by the European Union. So we're extremely grateful for your work, Sam, for IIT Guwahati, for CDAC in India, for Sejong University in Korea, and Tokyo University in Japan for the collaboration. These are the pillars in the countries with whom we collaborate. So you have heard already, InPace supports the digital partnerships and the Trade and Technology Council in the area of digital technologies. And it has, let's say, 3 motivations or main goals. So to strengthen the connection to the Indo-Pacific region in general, especially in research and innovation. The promotion of digital technologies. So we are focused on the digital technologies, and it also should support directly or indirectly business opportunities to be grasped on either side. Okay, so we are of course funded by Europe. We want to support also the European economy, but also we want to bridge to the Indo-Pacific countries to seize opportunities in Europe. So what we aim to achieve is harmonized research and innovation funding between the different countries and Europe. convergence in principles in regulation, legislation, and standards for digital technologies, reduction of barriers for trade and commercialization of new digital technologies, and also mentioned before, long-term collaborations in the field of digital technologies and their applications. Everybody who has worked in international collaboration knows that it takes time to prepare them, it takes time to execute, and it should be long-term partnerships, okay? So it's not that InPace can create wonders within half a year, but we want to bridge between research groups, innovators, between the different countries, and achieve long-term partnerships. So we are establishing regular exchanges between leading experts from Europe and the 4 partner countries on policies and technologies. We will have this in depth tomorrow. I will just give you a short overview of the program at the end. We support the digital policy dialogues on the governmental and institutional level, and such policy dialogue will take place tomorrow. And we inform and involve a large community through the InPace Hub, where you can find information in the area of digital technologies and specifically also related to European Indo-Pacific collaboration. This goes a bit into detail. It shows you just the breadth of the project. Okay, so we cover all major areas of digital technologies and applications and policy standardization and transversal topics. Okay, so all these areas will be also represented in the program that you see tomorrow. InPace is organizing a sequence of major events. So we started with a similar conference in Seoul, Korea, a year ago. We then organized the EU-Japan Digital Week. So it was 6 1.5 to 2 days workshops in Tokyo in March, April 2026. Now we are here in Singapore, and we are very happy here. And we are very grateful that your group, you organized everything here and host us, and we jointly shaped the program. The next partnership conference will be then in India in the autumn of 2026, and we will have a final event in Brussels. So please attend these events if you have a chance to. And join the InPace Hub. So there you find a lot of information. It is simple to register. There's no disclosure of public data involved, what Europeans are very critical about, but you just can profit from the information that we can provide. So we're already in the middle of the first day. We have had this Innovation Convergence Lab with interesting presentations about possible collaborations, open issues from different Indo-Pacific countries and from Europe. We now are in the middle of the opening session, so next there will be the keynote address of the Ambassador Designate of the European Union. Then we will have 2 talks which go more into the technologies of AI. And then we will have a panel discussion connecting digital partnerships in the Indo-Pacific, moderated by Eva Pejsova from the Vrije Universiteit in Brussels in Belgium. It will be quite a long program, so be aware. But it will be interesting, and we end with the discussion part, and so stay with us and don't look at your mobile phones too much. And then we will have closing remarks and the reception where you are invited. Please stay with us, please discuss. Tomorrow, we have a very rich technical program, and for this I brought this laser pointer. Oops. Okay, so you see here we have 4 parallel tracks, a lot of information. We have here the policy workshop in 2 parts, one on AI safety and one on collaboration with the ASEAN countries. And this AI track continues here to a session of AI in education and one on development of safe AI solutions. We have a full track on semiconductors, which is of a key area for possible collaboration between Europe and Singapore, Europe and India, Europe and Japan. We have 2 sessions here on IoT-related infrastructures, public services. Then this is more general on strategies to foster the application of digital technologies. And finally, there is a session on cross-regional data transactions. Sorry, I was a bit puzzled because I didn't see where it was located. And then, if you have become curious about what the European Union can offer you, there is a session on EU research and innovation funding where you get at least the first information on what it is about and what it takes to take part in it. And finally, there will be a closing ceremony followed by a reception. This brings me to the end of my short presentation. I would again like to thank the organizers, especially NUS, and the supporting institutions, the European delegation in Singapore, EURACCESS, and the EU-Asian Business Council, who have helped us to organize the session. And I welcome you again to the conference, and I wish you an interesting afternoon today and very interesting discussions tomorrow at the different technical sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian. Actually, I want to thank Sebastian for bringing me on board to this team. It's really my honor. By working with you, sir, I grow. I know you're tough. And, but he got rich. He got a lot of money, okay? If you're hungry for money, here is it. And if you are hungry for knowledge, we have a full program tomorrow. And next one, we are deeply honored to welcome His Excellency Bertulis Ortiz, Ambassador Designate for the European Union to Singapore, to deliver the keynote address. With over 3 decades of diplomatic service, Ambassador Ortiz has represented the European Union across multiple continents. His previous service served as European ambassador to Guinea-Bissau and held ambassadorial posts for Latvia, in India, Italy, Portugal, and Sweden, as well as the senior roles at the Latvian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including Director General for EU Affairs and Head of State Protocol. His distinguished career reflects a lifelong commitment to the advancing European diplomacy and international cooperation. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency Bertulis Ortiz to the podium. Your Excellency, please. Yeah.
Thanks. Professor Engel, distinguished professors, researchers, esteemed partners, and dear friends, students. It's my pleasure to address you today at the EU-Indo-Pacific Digital Partnership Conference 2025, organized by the In-Pace Support Initiative. It is also my true honor to be here in the National University of Singapore so early in my tenure, to disclose my secretive title of Ambassador Designate. It says that because I will be presenting the credentials to His Excellency the President of Singapore only in 3 weeks from now. So this is my double pleasure to meet the academic and research audience this early in my tenure. So my many thanks go to the National University of Singapore for hosting this event. I would also like to congratulate the In-Pace team, especially Professor Samge for his fantastic energy and enthusiasm in running this exercise. Also for your dynamism and commitment in making this event a reality. European Union naturally is proud to support this event. Your actions are highly relevant under the EU strategy for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, which has taken on enhanced significance with the publication of the International Digital Strategy for the European Union that was done in last June. The EU-Indo-Pacific strategy, published back in 2021, is a guiding framework shaping the EU's engagement in the Indo-Pacific region. It promotes effective rules-based multilateralism and connectivity with the European Union to reinforce stability, security, and shared prosperity. Digital governance and partnership for a human-centric, inclusive digital transformation are among the 7 key priorities of the strategy. A digital partnership with Singapore was established in 2023, adding to those signed the year before with South Korea and Japan. The EU-India Trade and Technology Council also provides a forum for cooperation on digital matters. Furthermore, the EU-Singapore Digital Trade Agreement, signed in May this year, is the first of its kind for the European Union. This agreement enhances legal certainty for businesses and ensures a safer online environment, encapsulating the EU's approach to digital and data rules that prioritize people and their rights. Digital partnerships are a key element on the EU's digital diplomacy in the Indo-Pacific region. In today's increasingly challenging geopolitical landscape, the approach to critical technologies, which are fundamental for the future of humanity, is more crucial than ever. In this environment, the European Union aims to continue as a stable and reliable partner, deeply committed to digital cooperation with our allies and partners. This is why the International Digital Strategy for the European Union, published in June this year, seeks to deepen digital partnerships by enhancing cooperation in policy, research, and innovation, as well as the industrial collaboration. This will be applied in key areas such as emerging technologies, digital infrastructure, and cybersecurity. Our strategy involves 3 main lines of action: deepening existing digital partnerships, establishing new digital partnerships and expanding digital trade agreements, and connecting these partnerships to operate as a network. Deepening partnerships means reinforcing existing ties to establish a resilient framework for cooperation. Broadening involves looking beyond traditional alliances to forge new relationships. Connecting entails enabling knowledge exchange and enhancing interoperability across borders, ensuring that digital advances are shared and mutually beneficial. Here in Singapore, our digital partnership is already thriving. We have had numerous fruitful exchanges in the recent past. For example, last week, Team Europe had a strong presence at the Singapore International Cyber Week. We participated in the Global Cybersecurity Labeling Initiative and co-organized 2 events with the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, a regional cooperation session on cyber fraud and scams, and the gathering of alumni from the EU Tallinn in Estonia, a cyber diplomacy summer school, and the UN Singapore Cyber Fellowship Program. In the same week, an official delegation from the European Commission, responsible for online platforms policy, visited Singapore to discuss collaboration on digital public infrastructure, supporting online safety, and the fight against the financial scams. Last month, a Singaporean delegation headed by Minister of State for Digital Development and Information, Mr. Hai Mazam, visited the European Commission to discuss online safety. Last May, the European Union AI Office participated in the Singapore Conference on AI, presenting the EU General Purpose AI Code of Practice. In November last year, an administrative arrangement on collaboration on AI safety was signed. So that's in the recent past. More on the future. Ladies and gentlemen, research and innovation are key components of our digital partnerships. The EU-Singapore Digital Partnership document highlights research collaboration in various domains, including AI, technologies, semiconductors, communications, Internet of Things, privacy-enhancing technologies, and research data. Collaborative research also aligns with the EU's global approach to research and innovation, a European strategy for international cooperation adopted back in 2021. As an expression of its commitment to international openness, the European Union now offers countries worldwide, those countries which share European values and have a strong science, technology, and innovation profile, to associate with Horizon Europe, the European Collaborative Research Framework Program. In the Indo-Pacific, South Korea, New Zealand, and Canada have already joined Horizon Europe as associated countries. Official negotiations are ongoing with Japan, and preliminary talks have been held with Singapore and Australia. Your exchanges today and tomorrow take place within this policy context, and I hope you will make the most of these opportunities to engage in extensive debate, exchange ideas, and identify avenues for concrete cooperation. Building on the conclusions from your previous conferences in South Korea and Japan, I invite you to develop further ideas and recommendations for thriving and productive digital partnerships. Our political leaders will take stock of the advancements in the EU-Singapore digital partnership later this year and may refresh the priority cooperation areas based on feedback from stakeholders. Your gathering is therefore very timely. Your participation and involvement are key to the success of these partnerships. I really do look forward to the conclusions of your discussions. And with this, I wish you an engaging and stimulating conference. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you, and have a good 2 days of conference.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And let's give His Excellency a round of applause for his excellent latest foundation for digital partnership, and we build a better tomorrow. Okay, and is Lawrence Liu here? Lawrence, thank you. Okay. And now we turn from global diplomacy to homegrown innovation, beginning with Singapore's own journey towards becoming an AI-first nation. Please, let's welcome Mr. Lawrence Liu, Director of AI Innovation at AI Singapore. Thank you. Yeah. And Lawrence is a true pioneer in shaping Singapore's AI journey with over 30 years of experience. He has led many of the nation's most impactful initiatives, from the 100 experiment program that connect research with industry to the award-winning AI apprenticeship program, and Learn AI, which has introduced AI to over 200,000 Singaporeans. Internationally, he co-chaired the AI Global Partnership on AI. As a successful entrepreneur and the author of AI First Nation, Lawrence combined deep technical expertise with practical vision, making him one of the leading voices in AI innovation today. Let's give a warm round of applause for Mr. Lawrence Liu.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ambassador Designate. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lawrence. I'm the Director for AI Innovation in AI Singapore. Our office is just across the road, 2 buildings away. So, very warm welcome to Singapore. The next couple of minutes, I'll share with you our programs and how we went about creating some of these award-winning programs. And, I'll talk at the end this book called AI First Nation. AI Singapore, we are a 100% funded program, a national R&D for AI program by the Singapore government. Started in May 2017. And I am employee number 1. I'm still here. I still wake up at 5 a.m. every morning raring to come to work. So what we've been asked to do is really to build deep capabilities in AI from a research perspective, from an industry perspective, getting papers published, building up the ecosystem. So very broad KPIs in that sense. Today, we have 6, what we call them pillars, We have 6 directors who look at very specific set of deliverables. So AI research looks at funding researchers, not just in NUS, but NTU, SMU, SUTD, A-STAR, across. Any researchers in Singapore can put out a proposal to get funding from the AI research pillar. AI technology, they also focus on research, but very much driving it through the form of grand challenges, prize challenge, and so on and so forth. I come from innovation, where we work very closely with the industry to help them co-create AI solutions for them. Typically at a much, much shorter time frame than most researchers would like. So we deliver POCs and MVPs anywhere from 3 to 6 months. AI products, which came about in phase 2 of AI Singapore, started as AI Makerspace, which I used to run also. Today, it's under a new director, and they have been doing a fantastic job building out the Southeast Asia large language model called Sea Lion, right? So for those of you who are interested to use a LLM that is more culturally attuned to ASEAN, Sea Lion would be the LLM that you should be looking at. And then, of course, ethics and governance is a very important part of AI. So we have a team led by Professor Simon Chesterman, looking at issues around ethics and governance of AI. AI talent development, also another spin-off from my AI innovation team, focuses very much on making sure students continue to have deep interest in STEM and AI, and trying to help them go and pursue a career in research in AI. That means getting them to do a master's, getting them to do a PhD, and so on. So over the last 8 years, we have deployed more than 300 AI projects. These are real-world projects that we have helped customers deploy and into production. These are not POCs that runs in a small Jupyter notebook. These are actually deployed into productions, running in ships, running in devices, installed in factories, in motorcycle helmets, and so on and so forth. And using these projects, we have also been able to train 300 Singaporeans to become real-world engineers. When I say train, I don't mean they have completed a course. I mean they have worked on real-world projects and today are employed in an AI role. We have put more than 200,000, 250, probably 300,000 Singaporeans and locals here through our AI for Everyone course. So what are some of the real-world projects that we have done? For those who are in Singapore who have watched our National Day rally recently by our Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, may recognize this screen capture over here of a dental X-ray. That's a dental X-ray, so this is actually an AI Singapore project under our 100 experiment, and basically the dental chain came to us to say, can we use AI to cut down the time the dentists need to spend looking at dental X-ray? So the AI basically analyzes it automatically, and within less than a minute, the analysis is done, and the dentist basically just need to review and then can get back to a very anxious patient that is squirming in the dental chair. So instead of waiting for 15, 20 minutes for the dentist to actually analyze the X-ray, the dentist can now go back to the patient within 2 to 3 minutes. And this is actually deployed in more than 150 clinics of this Q&M dental chain today. The project was done in 7 months by 1 engineer, 3 apprentices. Other projects from life science to call centers for our Singapore Civil Defense, where we did a speech-to-text, mainly because Singlish is something that people will use when they are in a panic mode when they call into emergency services. Therefore, the American speech-to-text engine doesn't work very well. We have done projects in finance, many healthcare, and we also support MNCs like Sompo, a Japanese insurance company, IBM, Continental, to actually build out their AI solutions here. So what is unique about this is we are not another system integrator, we are not another research team. We actually use these projects to also train the local talent workforce. How we do it, and this is what everybody is coming to learn from us. We host at least 1 to 2 delegations every month, trying to figure out exactly what's our secret sauce. So this is half the slides, there's 50% of the 2 slides of the secret sauce. So every project will go through a very rigorous process because we are spending taxpayers' money. We have to make sure that what we are spending has a positive ROI. So if the project is approved, AI Singapore will contribute 150,000. The company must contribute 150,000 in cash and in kind. Now, unlike typical research projects where the money, everything is given to the researcher, or a typical Singapore government grant where the money is given to the company, there's no point for us to give 150,000 to the company. The company will not be able to hire an AI engineer or an AI team. Right? When we designed this program in 2017, 2018, even then, it was very hard to find data scientists and AI engineers. So instead, what we say is, you give us the money, I'll unlock my 150, I'll have 210,000, I will then use that money to actually fund a team within AI Singapore to actually work on your project for 6 months. So this team will include an AI mentor, an AI engineer, 4 to 6 apprentices, and this team works full-time on one project and one project only. They don't do anything else for the whole 6 months. And they are supported by a project manager, senior AI engineers, and an AI ML ops team. The goal is to reach to MVP status in 6 months. And these apprentices, where do they come from? They are not students. They are all graduates. Most of them are. In fact, as up to this month, I have 500 over apprentices. Only one is a non-graduate, someone who only has an A level that has just gotten into the program. Other than that, everyone is a graduate. They have to take a technical assessment. We test them whether they have the skills of a junior AI developer or not. That means can they program in Python, can they use the right algorithm, and so on and so forth. But your question, what you may think is, if they can already do that, why are they not hired by companies? Very simple. Because if you go and look at your JD, you will see that your HR will have put in 2 to 3 years working experience in AI, PhD in AI, or at least a master's degree in AI or STEM. 50% of our apprentices do not have any of that. 80% of them do not have working experience in AI. So when AI Singapore started in 2017, I needed a team of engineers to help me build all these projects. My KPI was to do 100 projects back then. Today, we've done more than 300. And I just couldn't find them in the market. So my gut feel back then was, okay, can we find people who are self-taught, super interested? Let's bring them in, deepen their skills, put them on a project, and use them. So my cost is low. I can't match the salaries of what Microsoft or Google is paying here. I can't get experienced engineers to join me. What I could get is highly passionate individuals who wants to become an AI engineer, but they are not given an opportunity by organizations. So I look out for these folks. We have identified 500, and we are identifying more to get into the program. So what surprises a lot of people is you look at the profile of these people. Now, mind you, they are all graduates. They are all working. To come in the program, it's a full-time program. They have to quit their jobs. So imagine someone making 7,000, 8,000. I have a consultant who makes $15,000 a month. Quit his job to come into the program and took a stipend of today $4,000 a month and spent 9 months with us. That's the passion that they have. So what we are getting is we are getting a pool of highly passionate individuals that are going to work on the projects for you. And they come from all walks of life. Physics, maths, engineering. I have lots of engineers, as in electrical, mechanical, industrial, art, social science, accounting. Maybe it's just Singapore. Two backgrounds stand out. I have a lot of chemical engineers because Singapore has a very large process engineering industry, and the oil and gas is not doing that well. So a lot of the chemical engineers, process engineers in that is trying to pivot to do AI in another different industry. So they come to AIAP. The other one is accountants. I actually have a lot of accountants coming in to do the program, and then some of them will become, the younger ones will become AI engineers. The older ones will go back to a finance field. So one very interesting, I'll share with you two characters. One was the, I guess, the large European delegation here. I'm sure you are familiar with the company Decathlon in sports goods. The Singapore CFO quit his job to come in as a batch 17 apprentice. And he just graduated, and he is now with a government agency as a data science manager. Now, the dental chart, that project that was highlighted during our National Day rally, you will never guess the engineer that led the project, what was his background. He was a HR manager. He studied psychology in NUS. But he self-taught himself enough Python and AI to get into our program. And highly passionate individual, continued to pursue his interests in the program, and then we hired him as an AI engineer. He joined us, and then later on he led that project, computer vision. And after two and a half years, he left. He's actually finished up his final year of a PhD in AI, highly computational in reinforcement learning, psychology graduate. So never. I would say, look at the degree that a person has to determine whether he or she can be a good AI engineer. So one of the reasons why our project is so successful is that we have a diverse team of people working on the customer's project. I think you have heard of the success of DeepSeek. DeepSeek did not go out and just hire a bunch of computer scientists. They hire across. As long as you have the skills, come in. I don't care whether you are psychology, you are a history major, or whatever, it doesn't really matter. We have been doing this since 2017. So we will have engineers, accountants, lawyers, potentially working on a business problem that requires the domain of law or requires the domain of finance. Who better to solve that problem than a former CFO? So we have trained 500 over the last 8 years. We'll continue to train more. And we have also launched many other programs along the way in capability development. Our AI for Everyone is the one that has more than, I guess, today, 300,000 locals here that have gone through, professionals and students. And again, it wasn't because the government asked us to say, Lawrence, you need to do this literacy. No. That wasn't my KPI. When we launched AI for Everyone, I had 0 funding. But I needed to do that because companies were resistant to do AI. They were fearful of doing AI with us because back in 2017, 2018, they said, well, even then, they were fearful of losing their jobs. So they say, so I basically say, well, if they are fearful of AI, they're not doing AI with me, I'm not going to meet my KPI. I better demystify AI for them. So in middle of 2018, we actually launched AI for Everyone. And like I said, without any funding, we went until I guess for about 6 months before the government realized that, hey, there's so much interest in this. Okay, I'll give you some money to buy some coffee and snacks. We have AI for kids, AI for students. All was also launched without any government funding. And the stories behind that I actually described in my book, why we did that. Really because of passion, really because I'm looking at a 10, 15, 20 years timeline. If I don't get enough young kids to be passionate about STEM and AI, they can't come into the apprenticeship program. I won't have enough people getting into the apprenticeship program. I'll skip this too. So the companies that have come and worked with us, from the very small to the very big. So this year we have managed to attract major players like Heineken to set up their global generative AI lab here in Singapore with us. We are helping them to staff up their engineering team and capabilities. And so has BHP, the world's largest mining company, have also set up their AI Center of Excellence here. So even today, we are in talks with 3 to 4 other large organizations that is considering to set up an AI Center of Excellence in Singapore. And we are always one of the stop that the EDB will bring to show them our setup. So besides companies, countries, like I mentioned, are also coming to us. We helped Egypt way back, I think was 2021. Yeah, I think this MOU was signed to help train them on our 100E, our AIAP programs, and so on. Our neighbors in Malaysia is using a lot of our programs, and we have ongoing discussions with several Middle East countries. So we started with only one KPI, which was to do 100 projects. But to do that, I needed manpower, which I couldn't get from the universities. No professors or researchers were able to do 6 months projects for the industry. I needed to build my own team. I couldn't hire them from the industry. I created them myself through the apprenticeship program. And then I needed to demystify AI to make sure SMEs come and do projects with me. So we created not just AI for everyone, but a whole slew of training programs for the whole ecosystem, and so on and so forth. So coming back to this last slide, and you know, the title of this talk, right, the AI First Nation. I'm out there every day selling people to do AI, use AI. I believe in walking the talk. This book, AI First Nation, I wrote and published in 3 months with the help of AI. I did not use AI to generate the book. That would be easy. I use AI as a, lack of a better word, a co-pilot. I asked the AI to be a biographer. Basically, let's discuss. I want to write this book for policymakers, decision makers. We came up with the table of content. And from there, I say, okay, now ask me 2 to 3 probing questions about every section. So I basically had a conversation with the AI. I basically dumped all the knowledge I had of all my programs, why it was created, when it was created, how was it created, what were the issues that we found when we were that we had to create those programs. So basically, I spent 7 to 8 afternoons, 30 to 40 minutes each time, having that discussion with the AI, and the AI recording all my thoughts, and from there, basically then, cleaning it up. I had to spend another 4 to 6 weeks doing the editing, putting in the pictures, and basically got the book published. So, walk the talk. I'm selling you AI. I use AI on a daily basis. Thank you.
Let's give Lawrence a round of applause for his leadership in co-piloting, and also, yes, Lawrence, and actually, Lawrence gave me a major project, AI as a grand challenge, robustness. I'm leading that one. Yeah. Thank you for your support to us all, including me. Thank you. Next one, let's look to the Europe side, okay? And how the EU is pioneering a trustworthy and human-centric AI approach. Let's welcome Ms. Valentina Ivanova. Yeah, here she is. She is the Deputy Director at C-List Institute, France. Dr. Valentina Ivanova is a recognized scientist in the domain of wide-gap semiconductors, optoelectronics, and nanostructured solar cells. Presently, she is the Deputy Director of C-List Institute in charge of European affairs Affairs and coordinating this project. AI meters a T for manufacturing. Dr. Ivanova published 60 scientific papers, is co-authored of 10 patents, and is also a fellow of Global School for Advanced Studies. Welcome, Dr. Ivanova. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm coming from France, from CEA. Probably some of you know what does it mean, this abbreviation. It's a French Committee for Atomic and Alternative Energy. It's in European language, it's RTO, one of the largest RTO in Europe. It's about 22,000 in entire France. And I'm coming from CEA list. It's institute dealing with smart digital systems. And here I will try to give you an overview of the lately published AI strategy of European Union. It was published in the beginning of this month. And I will articulate with some projects which are... So I don't speak? Okay, thank you. So I will give some examples during the articulations with this AI strategy and some projects which are already running. So this is about the strategy. We will speak about this AI continent action plan for Europe, which has been launched by European Union, about AI regulations, and I put some references you can look at the end if you need to consult. Everything what is here is public and it's not so it's not prohibited to be used. So AI strategy in European Union, we started also to speak about AI since 2016, but even before there were a lot of projects running. But on 2016 we started to speak about digital innovation hubs. And there were some projects which were very concrete on robotics, on inspection and maintenance, a lot of which were innovation hubs, and they had half budget to support the SMEs with special open calls. And so that's why the European Union finally went to build this strategy, which is published. And this is with the aim to have this transformational potential, to have this, to be one, to publish our first AI policy, and to have our continent vision. Why we need to have this continent vision? It's very important that we still keep, although Europe, everybody says it's getting old, but we want to, we not only want, we are competitive and continue to be competitive, and we want to bring some of our industry back in Europe. We want to keep our sovereignty and security. We, especially in these times, we need security, not only cybersecurity, but we have a very strong excellence networks on cybersecurity, and European democracy should be kept as well. So all these AI technologies, they are very important to help and to use for our benefits. So AI continent has main pillars, 5. These 5 pillars are based on computing infrastructures, on data, on skills, on development of different algorithms, and for their adoption. And we want to put, we are working, it started already, to simplify some rules that to exempt the research and to facilitate the small and medium enterprises to adopt AI. That's very important. So, how it is going? For example, for computing infrastructures, European Union launched the AI factories. Already in Europe, we have 13 AI factories which are running, and now we are speaking about gigafactories. The gigafactories, they are mainly with private investments. They will be run not from public organizations, but from private investors, from private companies. And it's also very important. So you will say, probably will think during the presentation we put a lot of regulations and rules, but it's necessary. And it's not with to stop the innovation, it's with the purpose to accelerate in the good way. So we need also Cloud and AI Development Act, which has been developed to make this, to boost this sustainable infrastructure research. This is about AI factories which are already existing in Europe. This is the map, what is existing. It's well spread geographically in Europe, and we have in all these European regions, and it's with the aim that they are accessible for public and for private users. And it's not that I like very much France, although, but I took this transparent from our partners from French AI Factory. So that's why it's there. And because as I'm coordinating the AI methods, this is the manufacturing TEF. Tomorrow I will speak more about that, but I will mention later. So AI factories are asked how they can collaborate with this existing already some AI initiatives like Digital Innovation Hubs, the AI TEF. So that's why they have approached us to see how we can collaborate together, and this is the main purpose of AI Factory France, which will have its kickoff meeting next week on 5th of November. So this is, it's for France, but it's valid for all AI factories which are available in Europe. They should provide computing services for public organizations. It's for free. But there should be engagement that, for example, SMEs, they use these infrastructures, but they should make publications to publish the results. What do they do there? Or to make data sharing, the AI without data is not possible to be modeled. So it's necessary to attract, not only in Singapore, but also in Europe, to attract talents and to do the good innovation. There are some vertical applications. These vertical applications are in different sectors. They are very sectorial. And as you see, there's European, but also international collaborations. So, continuing to AI continent. So, we have to have data European Union's strategy, and this is building on simplified access. We are building also data labs, but on the continent, one of the pillars are also building AI talents. The talents, how do we envisage to use? It's by international recruitment process. It's due to partnerships like this one here. We are attracting talents, so we are proposing the fellowships and that they can work with us and benefit from our infrastructure. We benefit from the talent. There is also Skill Academy. There are different AR fellowships which are to students and researchers for exchange program. And also there are some reskilling opportunities. How to accelerate AI adoption? In AI strategy, there are identified several sectors how to be applied. This in healthcare, in automotive, in defense and security, as well in space. So it's in the same domain. In advanced manufacturing, normally if you read AI strategy, robotic is separated from advanced manufacturing. For me, it should be together. But however, it's advanced manufacturing and robotic. In agri-food sector, in electronic communications, in energy, also its special attention is done on culture and creative sectors. It's because we see a lot of videos and we start to think what is by AI, what is there is behind a human. It will be a little difficult. So on climate, how we can use to have these smart grids, how we can monitor the energy usage, and for public sector, it's very important that public sector is offering and there is these services. One of these pillars was to simplify the regulations. So we have to build, to have this, although we have these regulations, but we have to build this trust to these regulations that they are accepted from the people. They are a service desk which is launched in this summer, and there is a free support to customize these tools. And Europe proposed its first this AI Act, which is based on assessment of the risk. It's very important this when it's minimal risk, and as I said, in the research, there is no restrictions. We have to try. So there also, it should be transparency. So all this level of the risk assessment until it's prohibited with that, there are unacceptable risk. And on AI Act, if you look on AI Act, you will see there are some annexes. In the annexes, there are special rules how we can identify whether one risk is high risk and what should be. And this is very important. So it's for our critical risk infrastructures, for education, also for essential private and public services, and also it's this remote biometric identification is very important. So this is when it's identified one risk, it's a high risk. After that, there are some obligations that should be provided to the systems. It's that it's going to EU regulations and databases. AI Act is not imposed, it starts from today. It's on this gradual approach. First, it was with discussion with experts, and after that are identified this prohibited system. It's very important to know what is prohibited. And after that, are proposed some general AI purpose models and the others, and it will be in action in 36 months. So we are already on approaching 24 months, and in 2027, AI Act will be in action. This is just an example what is AI Innovation Accelerator with its objective to create guidance tools. That's with the help to how to understand and comply AI Act. And these are the main are the most innovative companies. This is target groups are in particular the SMEs, the startups. So, and also as I said, the public authorities shouldn't be forgotten. So, how can Europe speed this to go from AI from lab to market? And there are, again, the SMEs is the target, but there are also frontiers for AI initiative and market trust. It's necessary to build this trust in European Union market through its transparency. In Europe, as you understood, we really care about the transparency, and AI-ready workforce. It's important for mainly for the AI skilled. You will say there are a lot of initiatives. We are lost a little bit. So, European Commission founded the AI office, which is supervising all these initiatives related with AI technologies in Europe. But this is in center. In the same time, AI office, they are working for deployment, but there is also AI board from the member states. And they are also discussing with AI office when some initiatives are launched. And if you can see here, I was telling TEF is testing experimentation facilities. And they were launched in 2023. There are 4 TEFs which are running. One in it's AI, artificial intelligence, testing experimentation facilities. AI for health, for agri-food, for urban mobility, and for manufacturing. The manufacturing AI matters, which we coordinate, and there is a project coordinating the 4 TEFs. These are the articulations with different initiatives like AI on-demand platform. It was also AI on-demand platform. You put all information, all services that can be reached on AI on-demand platform. We have in Europe a lot of initiatives on data spaces. There are data spaces for manufacturing, for health. So it's a way how to articulate with all these initiatives. And the most important is how to apply these regulations with AI. That is through AI sandboxes. The sandboxes are launched, should be supported by national authorities. And the testing experimentation facilities, the TEFs, they offer the infrastructure to test these sandboxes. So if some companies are here, they are welcome to come to us. So you see all these initiatives, AI continent. So for that, it's needed to have unified governance. And this governance is by Apply AI Alliance, and it's forum of policymakers, industry, academia. It's to make this alliance how we can apply. And there is AI Observatory, which is tracking the progress of providing insights of AI implementation across all this Europe. So this is the vision how applied AI strategy happens in Europe. So some regulations with they are ESPR regulations. This is related also with digital product passport. This ESPR says eco-design for sustainable product regulations. It's also with the purpose that it shouldn't not stop the production, it should facilitate, and when we take a product, we can know its origin from where it's coming. And this is established in Europe, and it's a framework of regulations, and there is delegated acts, there are already some regulations for batteries, for constructions, for toys, for critical raw materials. The main sets of new sustainability eco-design approach is broad scope. You see, it's moving behind energy, not only to save energy, it's more wider scope. It's a new sustainability for eco-design, so it's necessary to combine these performance requirements like durability, footprint, recyclability, all this. And there are some horizontal measures which are common for eco-design's requirements, and strong focus on product information. As I said, you can go there. The key product aspects for ESPR are here. They are, you can go on eco-design requirements and see that what is possible to be recycled, what is the source of energy, what is the source of water, the efficiency, and whether it's possible to be upgraded, what about the repairability, everything. And if finally we cannot achieve, we can go to recycling and how we can recover some materials and to make remanufacturing. So this was prepared also from a group of experts. I think about 130 persons were working and preparing this action plan for 18 months, going on these 4 main pillars there to prepare the working plan and to say which kind of measures are available. So it starts on products, on preparatory studies for impact assessment, eco-design, and adoption. At CEA, we were first to launch the first project, which was called CIRPAS. It was CSA in European language is Coordination Support Action. So it was a very short project, about 18 months, and it just gave the main strategy for implementation of digital product passport. After that, it's CIRPAS 2, which is the real project, which is running now, and it's innovation action. There are several pilots on this. The main objective of CIRPAS 2 is to deploy and validate the scaling in real-time setting digital product passport for target value chains. It's with 13 pilots, and all pilots, they focus on B2B activities that promotes all this circularity. And it demonstrates this cross-pilot interoperability, and it's mainly, as I say, to provide the support to SMEs and support also the deployment of and adoption of DTPP in different sectors. So, digital product passport is a set of machine-readable data, which are, they are not on the cloud, they are valid for each product, and they are through this product unique identifier embedded in data carrying and relying on online look mechanism. It's a short e-label on e-data set for product. It's not a tracking and not tracing tool. It should be, it's like our biometric passport. And will not require to have, to reveal sensitive supply chain information. What is mandatory for the digital product passport? It's based on some standardized data exchange, and also it contains sector-specific mandatory sustainability circular information. And there is also what is not mandatory, but it's wished to have on this, all this shell, which is in interoperable data space on distinguish whether it's from Europe, from where it is. Everything I think is not mandatory, but it's wished to be included. And so it's not just a regulatory tool, it's ensuring this transition, digital transition from to sustainability, and by going through the green transition, so from IT infrastructure and data. It's needed to support businesses in adoption of these new technologies. It's business-oriented, and it's necessary to coach the businesses. So what are the main difficulties? What I heard from my colleagues, the main difficulties that we don't have enough time to answer all inquiries we receive from industries. We had at CEA Taiwanese delegation, and when we presented SIRPAS, we spent 2 hours to discuss, because there were Taiwanese companies who are willing to continue sell products in Europe, and they have a lot of questions regarding this. So it's important for not only for EU, but for all our partners around the world. So it's necessary to help the companies, to give them, and some countries, in France not yet, but we are working on that. Some countries like the Netherlands, in Austria, also in Germany, they have in their ministers some digital product passport support centers that helps, and it makes train the trainers how to give more spread information about digital product passport. So I think I finish here, and here are some information about this eco-design forum, or if this all these experts who are working and is giving vision about how it will be in different sectors. There are also some information. You can access everything on the internet, and you can also learn a lot of apply AI strategy. It's reuse documents from AI. So here are also the address of colleagues from SIRPAS, and I thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ivanova, for her AI Act and AI in action. And I learned from the AI is you must be a good, she mentioned fellowship, as you must be a good fellow. Good fellow teach AI to be a good fellow, then AI is safe, okay? If you teach AI bad thing, he learns faster than you, okay? Yeah. Okay. And next one, and Dr. Eva, Professor Eva, shall we give our friends a 5-minute break to the loo? Right? Otherwise, we cannot keep, but maybe we give 5 minutes to relax, okay? We have been keeping you for too long, okay? Sorry. Yeah. And then later I will pass my session to Eva, lovely Eva, okay? Yeah, have a break, 5 minutes.